Good afternoon, good afternoon. Here we go. And a little afternoon pick me up. Don't mind if I do. Should we get some tea emojis going on down in the comments? Oh yeah. Actually, I'll just put it up there right now. If you have a question, this is how you use it. Now we have a question mark emoji. You better believe it down in the comments. All right, 50-mile full review. Escalated very quickly. I think, what is today? Today's Wednesday. I think I started running in this shoe on Sunday, or maybe Saturday. I can't remember exactly, but anyway, we're already at 50 miles. Let's put this guy over here on the shelf. Where is it? There it is, to the V1, or the original Carbon X, all right? There it is. There's the Carbon X, the original from 2019, and here's the Carbon, or would it be 20? Yeah, I think 2019, and then here is the 2020 iteration, all right? So you can see a pretty significant change there already through the upper there, through that heel, all right? You see that heel counter and heel tab. Quite significant difference. Also pretty big update to the outsole as well. So we will get to all of that. Let's dive into, shall we? I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to communicate. At the end of the day, I appreciate you being here, stopping by once again, and thank you. I think we're already at like 350 comments on yesterday's vlog all about which shoe would you keep in your running shoe rotation if you could only choose one. Yes, I selected the Saucony Endorphin Speed. There it is. Actually, let's put this on the shelf as well. Saucony Endorphin Speed was my choice. So thanks for hitting that up yesterday. All right, we're looking at a road shoe, and the question connected to the title, is it an ultra road shoe? Is it a marathon racing shoe? Is it a half marathon? Or is it simply going to be a long run shoe? I will give you my answer here in a minute. We're looking at a 5mm drop from heel to toe, 32mm in the heel, 27mm in the forefoot. A very stable ride. All right, just saying right now, I felt very stable, even cornering fast. Today, did I say today? Oh my goodness. Today's last run, 10 miles today, 650 a mile, okay? So I picked up the speed a little bit on corners just to see how it would do on cornering, and it did just fine. We're looking at 7.8 ounces in women's size 8, 221 grams, 8.5 ounces in men's size 9, or 241 grams, and frankly, you're getting my gut reaction right now. Here we go, in my size. Hold on, let me make sure we're not touching anything. Wait, hold on. 7.9 ounces in my size. 7.9. Let's do it. Same size. Here's the Carbon X. Did it lose or... Wow. It's exactly the same. 7.94, 7.97. That's interesting. So at least it did not gain weight. All right. So good job, Hoka. And yes, there is my score on the screen. Not the best, okay? And I'll come back to the weight here in 1 minute. All right, moving on to that mesh upper, all right? The top of the shoe, we're looking at a mesh upper, very breathable. And I'm gonna say more comfortable than the original. All right, I'm trying not to turn this into a comparison vlog to the original Carbon X, but definitely more breathable in this year's iteration. It is a, hold on, yes, semi-gusseted tongue. It feels very reminiscent, everybody, of the Hoka Mach 4 tongue, as well as the Hoka Mach 4 gusseted as far as what it feels like inside the shoe. All right, here we go. What is making me most excited about this upper is the heel counter and the heel flare. I'm just telling you, it screams comfort all the way here, wrapping around your ankle, the collar of the shoe. Now, should I go there now? I think well, no, we're gonna save that actually for the fit. I do have a big update as far as the fit of the shoe here in 1 second. So there's the upper. Moving on to that midsole. It is a CMEVA midsole foam. That's the white there, all right? Can you see the white where I'm pointing at right there? But then wrapping around the bottom of the shoe, we're looking at a rubberized EVA, okay? So CMEVA durometer test, all right, here we go. So, one thing, oh man, I'm trying. I do remember that the durometer test in the original Carbon X was not the best. It felt a little stiff, a little bit of a hard landing, and so I am really liking the update thus far, well, after my 50-mile full review for this durometer test in the Carbon X2. Now, as far as the ride of this midsole, when I intentionally, because I strive to be a little bit more of a mid-foot to forefoot striker. When I was striving to strike on my heel, it actually felt a little better. It felt like I was getting more of a propulsion forward, a little more energy return through that foot strike. Whereas if I was just landing on the forefoot, it didn't feel quite as peppy, okay? So that's just a little hint. If you are a heel striker and you just know that's how you, that's what your gait cycle is like, then you might want to take a second look at this shoe. It felt better to me for an energy return score when I was doing more of a heel. I think it gets back to that overall geometry and that rocker feel that you get in most Hoka shoes, what they call their Meta Rocker, the Meta Rocker midsole, okay? So that's my thought on the midsole, and of course, there is a carbon fiber plate in there, so we gotta actually, let's do this test first. So yeah, no, I mean, that's why it's feeling very stable, like it's not twisting that much through the dance test, through the good old dance test now, and I know everyone gets a little nervous when I do this, don't worry, I won't break it, ow. Okay, I just had a sticker get in my hand. Let's do this here, okay? So I'm gonna say overall rigidity or stiff, like I'm gonna put it almost a little bit in the middle of the road, okay? As far as how hard it is to bend that carbon fiber plate in there. I'm thinking of the Asics Meta Racer as a carbon fiber plate that felt a little rigid, and then I'm thinking of the New Balance Fuel Cell RC Elite, where it was actually pretty easy to bend that carbon fiber plate, okay? So that's where I'm gonna put it kind of middle of the road in there for the carbon fiber plate. And yes, onto that outsole, here we go. They did update the outsole, okay? So you can see through, you'll just see there, all right? Now, what's nice about this outsole, it's a rubberized EVA. I love the fact that they did not add any additional rubber to, increase the durability of that outsole. And we'll get to the durability here in a second. You can see right through into that carbon fiber plate, which you can also see there. But the issue with the original Carbon X is that rocks were getting stuck inside that outsole. So they fixed that by basically tapering into that, basically tapering there through the outsole so that rocks, I never had, through the 50-mile test, I never had a rock get stuck there on the outsole. I should probably also mention there's a little bit of a flare here through the back, and it's actually very reminiscent of the Mach 4. They must be doing some testing where, where they're doing, basically it's almost exactly the same, okay? Where they're realizing maybe if we do a little bit of a flare, whereas of course the Hoka Clifton Edge for me was too much. It was too much. But these guys, it's allowing my heel to move through the entire leg swing almost a little more stable so that my foot it's almost acting like a buoyancy. Does that makes like it's offsetting a little. I don't know how to describe it yet because it's new, and a lot of companies are not quite doing this yet exactly, where it's so pronounced here, not as much as the Clifton Edge. Anyway, that outsole, I am giving it a solid score for the outsole because they basically no extra rubber on the outsole, and then they did fix the rock issue in the bottom there. Okay, moving on to that fit and comfort. Here's the deal. Fit. I almost wish I would have gone a half size down, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that I didn't as far as the length of the shoe, okay? But the reason that the fit score is pretty low is that for me, and my foot is not very wide, I think the toe box is actually running just a little narrow. I felt my pinky toe, and listen, I don't mind it, but I'm just warning you, I felt my pinky toe pressing up against this outer wall a little bit, so it felt snug, which you know me, I like a snug fit, but I just want to give a warning to you that you might want to make sure that the toe box is not too narrow for you. All right, so there you go. There's my fit score. On to the comfort. A great comfort score because that upper, especially the collar and the heel counter, heel tab, the tongue is not plush, but it's very comfortable. Combined with this durometer test through the CM EVA midsole, it's a very, very comfortable shoe. And yes, my positive for the entire shoe is gonna be, it was tough, but I decided to go with the collar of the shoe combined with a heel flare here. It's just, there's some dust coming off. It's just so comfortable compared to, okay, now this is definitely falling into the racing category, or is it? And I'll get you my answer here in 1 second. But most racing shoes in the marathon category are not gonna feel this comfortable on your foot. And that is why my comfort score is so high for this guy. Okay, my drawback is that little bit of narrowness happening through the toe box. All right, just be aware of that. Okay, durability prediction, I'm going with 400 plus miles. Now, if you buy this shoe and and I believe, okay, don't hold me to it, I believe it's available like really early 2021. I think it's January 2021 is what I saw, some rumors around, so it's not available quite yet, just so you know. But my durability prediction, I'm going with 400 plus miles. If anybody takes it past 400 miles, please send me an email and let me know what the shoe is looking like on the outsole especially. But I'm gonna go 400, which gives it a really solid durability prediction, especially that upper. I think the upper is built pretty solid for a racing shoe. Now, here we go. How will I use this shoe moving forward? Who is it best for? Here's the deal. I will use this shoe for long runs, okay? And the reason I'm not gonna use it for racing is because of the weight. That weight in the carbon fiber plate marathon racing game, it's a game now, it's a competition amongst all these companies, that's too heavy. So what was it again, 7.8? Let me just put it back on the scale real quick, 7.9, oh my goodness. So it needs to go an ounce lighter. It needs to go an ounce lighter if it wants to compete with everybody else. With, Adidas, with Asics, with definitely Asics, with Nike, with New Balance, I do believe. So anyway, that is too heavy, which is why I will be using this shoe for a long run shoe. However, everybody, all right, here we go. Who is this shoe best for? I'm gonna say, everyone, this has serious potential and it's becoming more popular. Did you know this? Ultra running on the track or ultra running on the roads. So I think this shoe has huge potential for ultra racing on the roads. Now, of course, a lighter option is always great, but the fact that the reason I'm saying the ultra distance is because that it's going to be durable, but it's also going to have it's going to absorb the pounding on the pavement, I think, really well, just based on how it's not, oh yeah, here we go. If you want one shoe to train in and race in for a marathon, boom, okay? So you don't have to buy two shoes because this shoe is gonna last through your training and you would still be able to race in it, okay? It's just got that type of feel. Whereas, okay, like the Next Percent from Nike, those midsoles, that Zoom X midsole foam, it just breaks down pretty quickly. Once you start getting past, 150 miles, you start to get creasing through the midsole. So that's one bonus of that EVA midsole foam. And moving on to that price point, here we go, $180, 180. Now, my score is not amazing because that's a lot of money for me for a long run shoe, okay? If this shoe was a half an ounce or preferably an ounce lighter, that would be that 7.5 out of 10 would turn into a 9 out of 10. But because the weight of the shoe is heavier, and I will not personally be using this shoe for marathon racing, rather I'll be using it for a long run shoe. But again, here we go. One shoe for training and racing, $180, you just know, okay, I'm training for a spring marathon coming up. I just want to buy one shoe for the entire endeavor. Boom, right here. I think this shoe can knock out your training and you'll still have a shoe left at the end of the training block to race in, okay? But anyway, hopefully that makes sense with respect to my price score. Okay, I'll put price score. Here we go. Other shoes on your screen that I would put into a similar category, similar price points. It's always difficult to nail down exactly without going into too much detail with respect to the upper material, the drop, etc., etc. But here's some other shoes you could consider buying that I have also tested in 2020. And real quick, the shoe specs for the Hoka Carbon X2. All right, there they are on your screen. And my final score, 7.65 out of 10. Not too shabby. All right, not perfect, but not too shabby. 7.65 out of 10. And here we go. All right, question of the day. Who has in the past done an ultra race on the roads or the track? That's option 1. Option 2, who is planning on doing an ultra race on the roads or the track in 2021? All right, let us know what race. I know this is kind of a niche question, so not everybody's gonna be able to answer, but if you have any questions, again, here's the emoji about this whole topic of ultra running on the roads or the track. Definitely ask down below, and hopefully some veterans out there, some ultra running veterans can chime in, because again, this is kind of new territory for me. I've never done ultra racing on the roads. All right, we'll see you in the comments. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. You know what? We're gonna toss it to, gosh, oh man. Well, I'll probably do the Hoka Carbon X full review or first impression right here. Hoka Carbon X from 2019, right here. Onward and upward. Thanks for being here. See beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.